Hey guys, in this video we'll be doing another home decor project. This one is really quick and simple. Another piece for the wall, which is completely different from our last one, and it only requires a few items. So let's get started. All you'll need is a piece of wood and a strip of Veg-Tan leather. I prefer Veg-Tan because it's durable and sturdy. When it comes to home decor projects, this is probably one of my favorite pieces of leather to work with. Besides the hair-on hides, what we're using is the Hermann Veg-Tan in a 4 to 5 ounce. You can also go thicker if you would like. It just depends on your preference. In addition to this, you will need some Chicago screws and possibly some wood stain if you decide to stain it other than natural. This is my downstairs bathroom, and as you can see, I'm in pre-decorating mode, but this wall is completely bare and it needs something. So I figured this wall hanger would be perfect for this area. I'm just taking my measuring tape and measuring out the slab of wood that I have. Again, the dimensions were in the previous slide in case you want to do this exact size. So I'm using my measuring tape, but I'm also going to use my wall measurement just to make sure everything is nice and even. This handy little thing is an app, which is great if you don't feel like buying this thing separately. I don't even know what it's called, but I know my grandfather used to use one when he worked on the house and did really terrible construction jobs. So yeah, it comes in handy. Now I'm just gonna cut out my 2 strips of leather. I am using a rotary cutter just for an example. However, I think the more precise cut comes from either a utility knife or a leather strap cutter, which I'm using right here. And of course, if you do not have either, your preferred method of cutting leather is best. However, just be mindful of your cuts because we won't be doing any edge finishing, so you want to just make sure those cuts are really clean. Next, you'll want to sand down any rough edges if you have them on your piece of wood. Prevent any unnecessary splinters from happening since we will be handling this quite a bit. You want to make sure everything is nice and smooth. Now this part is up to your discretion. You can either go in with some wiping stain to give your piece of wood a nice finishing color, or you can leave it raw, natural, and or you can use some acrylic paints to maybe do some designs or anything decorative, but that is completely up to you. I like my wood the way it is, so I'll leave it like that. As far as my strips of leather, I'm just rounding out the ends because I don't want to leave them square. However, that is again up to your discretion and or style preference. However you do these straps is completely up to you. You can even paint the straps. They don't even have to stay this natural veg if you don't like that color. Now, I did mention that you would need some Chicago screws, but you can also use rivets if you choose not to do either of the two and you're okay with punching holes into your walls. Either way, you will still need to punch holes between your leather, and then you can just screw the whole entire piece into your wall using a wall screw. If you are using Chicago screws or rivets, you can just attach everything together now. Okay, so now that I have my 2 strap leather pieces with my Chicago screws to keep them attached, I'm going to take this and my wood and go downstairs and finish hooking everything together. Let's go. So since I'm always experimenting and I have literally put 1,000 holes in every entity of my walls, I've decided to just use these command strips. If you are going this route, you just want to make sure that your command strips can hold 10 to 15 pounds or more, depending on what you put on your wood. Additionally, I only used 1 strip, but I would suggest if you are planning to add multiple things onto your wood, then you should use 2 or 3 command strips going down the back right here, just to make sure that it's strong enough to hold up that weight. The last thing you want to do is let the command strip set, whether it's on the wall or your material. Let it set for a good 5 or 10 minutes before you start hanging everything up. And that completes our floating wall shelf. So now you can just put whatever it is that you had decided to put on your shelf. I'm just going to add some plants and some minimal decor for the bathroom so I can decorate around it. But again, if you are planning to place heavier objects onto your shelf, just make sure you put adequate amount of command strips so that it can hold up to that exact weight or more. It doesn't really matter. What you don't want is to hear a tumble and boom in the middle of the night because everything has come crashing down. So you have been warned. This is a really great DIY project, especially for kids. If you have kids, it's really quick, simple, and easy. You can also go in so many different directions as far as style and or design is concerned. You can make smaller, larger, multiples at a time, or just do this one like I did. I would love to cover an entire wall full of these, but yeah, that's a bit of a project that I am not ready to sign myself up for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project and give it a try. Until the next time, I will catch you on the next project. Peace.